Thanks for joining us here on Arc Salt Lake. I'm Brian Schnee. Wednesday night, July 30th. Tonight we're taking a look at some of Utah's missing cases, and we're asking for your help. Before we get there, though, we're going to welcome in meteorologist Sean Kelly, who's over here with our first alert forecast. Sean's going to pop in here, and we're going to chat about everything weather that's going on. Here he is. So, smoke is a big impact, obviously, for a lot of people, but that critical fire weather is really impacting a good chunk of the state right now.
Yeah, and it's lowering the air quality, it's reducing visibility, it's becoming definitely a presence that's been lasting for several days now and has gotten worse today, especially across the Wasatch Front. We've been dealing with those smoky, hazy skies. We've got those fire alerts down towards the south central and southwestern part of the state. Further out towards the east, you see those alerts will continue through the day today, into the night, and into the day tomorrow. And tomorrow, in fact, we'll actually see stronger winds than what we dealt with today. You could see some breezy conditions from Cedar City down through Kanab and to the St. George area, Bryce Canyon as well, up northward into Milford, Tooele County, and then back out towards the east here. So the wind's definitely pretty breezy. It's bringing in that smoke from those wildfires down towards the south. You could see that haze out there. But boy, was it hot. 98 degrees right now. We had a high temperature of 100 degrees. Yeah, we did it again. The fourth time of the season so far with triple-digit heat. If you're heading out to the RSL game later on this evening, going to be a great one. Just remember, prepare for the heat. Those temperatures will be pretty toasty here through the next few hours, gradually cooling off as we get closer towards that 9 p.m. hour or so into the upper 80s. Coming up, my first alert weather forecast, we do have some cooler temperatures here in the days ahead. We'll talk about that coming up in the next few minutes.
The search for Kylie Arellano continues. It's now been 62 days since she was last seen. This is a 15-year-old girl, by the way. Kylie's mom, Stephanie Coleman, held a barbecue fundraiser at Heritage Park in Garden City on Friday. If you missed the opportunity to go but wanted to help out, you can join the Help Bring Kylie Arellano Home Facebook group for the updates directly from Stephanie herself. She posted this today, the latest missing persons poster seen at a manufacturing company right here in downtown Salt Lake City. I reached out to the sheriff's office today up in Rich County. We played a little phone tag, so I haven't gotten a hold of Sheriff Stacy to talk more about this case. But a reminder to keep an eye out. Kylie wears a lot of dark clothing. She's known to color her hair. According to Rich County Sheriff's Office, she's 5'6", weighs about 115 pounds. Last time she was seen had chin-length brown hair, black braces, and tattoos. Anyone with information about Kylie's whereabouts should call the Rich County Sheriff's Office, 435-793-2285, referencing the case number you see on your screen. Shaden Brooks has been missing for 1 year and 1 month, according to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. When he was reported missing from Roy, Utah last year, he was just 16 years old. We're really having a hard time finding friends and family who undoubtedly want to find Shaden, but he would now be 17 years old. Royce City Police have reason to believe he never left Utah. And if you know Shaden, we would like to hear from you. We would also like to help you. So text the 2 News tip line. You see the number on your screen there, or reach out to me directly on the socials. Finally, a reminder of the 2 missing Idaho teens with ties to the FLDS. 38 days ago, Elizabeth Roundy reported that 2 of her children, Rochelle and Alan Fisher, were missing, fearing they may have been taken to Rejoice, the FLDS church. Her concerns come from statements made by FLDS leader Warren Jeffs, who has been sending controlling messages to his congregation from prison. Elizabeth left the FLDS church in 2020, was forced to leave her children behind with other members. In 2023, the children's sister, Elintra, was reported as missing. Tremont police say they believe that Rochelle and Alan willingly left their home. Despite these claims, there's currently an active Amber Alert still for both children out of the state of Idaho. Their mother recently told CNN if she could talk to her children, she would, quote, tell them, I love them very much and my heart is broken. The Holding Out Help Foundation still offering a cash reward, $5,000, in exchange for the safe return of the 2 teenagers. If you have any information on the siblings, contact the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department. Police in Davis County are trying to find this woman. Clearfield police say Tanya Ivy disappeared back in June. They went to her last known address after her family requested a welfare check, but she wasn't there. While there are indications she may have moved, Tanya's family says they're worried about her If you recognize Tanya or know where she is, give Clearfield Police a call. So more than 800 people are listed as missing in Utah. And over the last few months, we've shown you a handful of some higher profile cases. Well aware there are many cases that are not getting the attention they deserve. So if you or someone you know has a relationship or a tie to a missing persons case that you would like us to look into and get out to the public, please reach out to me. There's many ways you can do that using our text to tip line. You see the number on your screen there. And for continued coverage on Utah's missing cases, join us Wednesdays, 7 o'clock, right here on Arc Salt Lake. Our goal is to find the families and friends of Utah's missing, answers or closure. Like always, you can reach out to me on social media. Well, despite efforts from firefighters, the Monroe Canyon fire burning in central Utah is burning a lot. Erratic fire behavior due to strong winds. Now the power company there, Garcane Power, says it has shut off power actually in Wayne County, affecting about 3,000 customers there. They may shut it off in other areas to prevent even more fires, issues rather, I should say, to the transmission lines and not impact power. So far, the flames have destroyed more than 36,000 acres. Containment downsized from 16 to 11% because of that growth. The video you see here is from this afternoon, by the way. This is new video showing just how active that fire activity was today. More than 1,000 people are working the front lines here. The fire started back on July 13th, believed to be human caused, but they're still saying under investigation. First responders holding a community meeting to give an update on this fire. And boy, do the people there in that area want to know about what's going on, because that fire just exploded today with the red flag conditions. Tonight at 7:30, it's happening at the Sorensen Administration Building at Snow College in Richfield. Property owners who can't get there in person will be able to watch a live stream online. We'll have more on this tonight on 2 News at 10. I'll be heading out to the fire line in that area tomorrow. Crews from Hurricane Valley Fire and Rescue just got back from a 14-day deployment to the Monroe Canyon. And as they do, they're very good at sharing what they've been up to. And we appreciate it, because you may notice the people we put on TV here on the show, because they put that information out there. A lot of departments don't, but Hurricane has. They're assigned to night operations, providing suppression, structure protection, and assisted with backfiring efforts. Those photos are remarkable, and it's because a lot of that shows the intensity of this fire at night. When the fire is supposed to back off, typically, it has not. Red flag conditions persist over the area, so that means high winds, low humidity continuing to drive the fire. Factor in some temperatures there, especially on the north side due to those high winds. Power has been cut off again for all of Wayne County, which is a hub for Garcane energy transmission lines. They told me in a text earlier today it was getting a little too close, so they had to make the shutoff, which is impacting nearly 3,000 customers. By the way, there are also evacuated areas tonight. If you need that information, it is on our socials. A new study from Western Colorado University suggests aspen trees are more than just pretty to look at in the fall. They actually stop wildfires from spreading. Colorado correspondent Josephine Sage walks us through the 20 years of research.
We had the lowline fire just about 2 years ago right now that burned through quite a bit of conifer, and then you can really see how it hit the aspen, and it actually jumped over some aspen and then went through a little more conifer and then came to a stop at the next barrier of aspen.
A study almost 20 years in the making by Western Colorado, Colorado State, and the University of Montana concluded aspen trees are one of the many factors helping delay the spread of wildfires.
One of the main reasons that aspens impede wildfire is just because of how high their tree canopy is compared to those other trees in those same affected areas. So the higher the tree canopy, the less likely that fire is to grab onto those low branches.
The study also found these trees are rich in moisture and their leaves decompose faster than needles. Dr. Jonathan Koop tells us this study has data going back to the early 2000s. He says it takes into account the history of wildfire perimeters and what kind of vegetation is in the landscape.
What we can do is we can measure with the fire detections. We can basically measure where fires were on any given day they were burning. And that allows us to determine the rate that they progressed across the landscape.
In many cases, it was found aspens were at the fire line where wildfires slowed down or completely stopped. The Gunnison County Lowline Fire and West Fork Complex Fire in the San Juans in 2013 are two examples of this.
It came, it was running from west to east, and it as it came into some aspens down there, it basically settled down and came to a stop.
There are many other factors like climate variation and snow accumulation that contribute to how wildfires spread, but scientists are exploring opportunities that include aspens to diminish fires in the future.
Coming up on Arc Salt Lake, why a debate involving political signs is dividing the city of Hurricane just weeks before the primary mayoral campaign. It was 4 signs, all with the same phrase, "Hurricane deserves better." The signs didn't say which campaign they were associated with, but when they disappeared, their presence or lack thereof overtook the conversation. Liv Kelleher is in southern Utah, where a debate involving political signage is dividing the city of Hurricane just weeks before the primary mayoral campaign.
Do you feel like your First Amendment rights were encroached upon?
Oh, definitely. Most definitely.
Gary Sanders is running for mayor. He says shortly after filing his candidacy, supporters started posting his campaign slogan around town. Days later, the signs were gone.
So that's when I then approached the city to find out, has someone removed signs? And that's when the whole situation started.
Mayor Nanette Billings confirmed she removed the signs herself after consulting with the city planner.
It's not that I'm right, it's I was doing what was right.
The mayor says that because the signs didn't mention a candidate or ballot initiative, they were not protected under Utah's political signage laws.
It's not just anonymously that you can just poke up whatever you want wherever you want all over the country. That's not the way the First Amendment works. It's associated with a human. And not that humans don't make signs, I'm just saying that that's your First Amendment right is you have to stand behind what you're saying.
When the issue was brought to the state's attorney general, Mayor Billings says she received clear confirmation that her actions were within state laws.
And he sent me an email saying, you're correct, it's not a political sign because it has to follow this, and this is our state law, which is very clear.
But Sanders says this interpretation is too narrow.
I look at this as, again, it's a philosophy. It's a political statement. It's a First Amendment issue. And I think that's what's being lost.
The debate played out across social media and has raised questions about Mayor Billings' role as both candidate and incumbent, and whether personally removing the signs constituted an overreach. To that, she responded,
"There's not one part of this city that I'm not responsible for. As much as someone wants to say that's not your responsibility, that is not true. People elect you because you are not the government. You're the people. You're the voice of the people."
I also spoke with mayoral candidate Rick Crow, who filed a complaint with the Attorney General's office that prompted this investigation. He said the issues with the signs are emblematic of larger concerns about transparency in Hurricane, while others say that this is a distraction from other more pressing issues. I reached out to the fourth candidate, Clark Fawcett, but did not hear back ahead of this story. In Hurricane, Liv Kelleher, KUTV 2 News.
You like the Lumineers?
I sure do.
Yeah,
I sure do.
I'd actually really like to be there tonight. That'd be fun.
I saw them in Austin, and they were actually great performers.
Yeah.
And they like to have a good time.
Yeah, ho hey.
That's right.
Everybody
That's the
knows
song.
it.
A lot
Ho
of
hey.
ho-heys, a lot of ho-heys. Yeah, it's a great time, and I can imagine people out there. It is on the hot
It's
side.
hot.
It's
yeah.
hot out there.
You hope that sun kind of goes down. And you know what's nice about this venue here in West Valley?
It cools off.
It cools off, and the sun sets on that hill.
Right.
So actually, you know who gets it is the artist on stage who's staring directly in the sun,
right.
and everyone else gets to watch and enjoy it. They're up
They
there
got
with
sunglasses
shades,
on.
and
Yeah,
they're
right.
sweating, and they're underpaid, and all those things. It's terrible. Anyway, the Lumineers should be fun tonight. Send me your pictures.
Yeah, we got Band of Horses too. We've got the RSL game. A lot of events here this evening. But yeah, going to be a gorgeous evening just on the hot side, so make sure you're preparing for that. By the way, we touched 100 degrees today. That's the fourth time of the season, of the year, that we hit 100 degrees. This time last year, I believe we had about 14 or 15 days of triple-digit heat. So that's a win in my book. Not quite that hot. We've got temperatures right now still pretty toasty into the middle 90s for much of the area, upper 90s here in Salt Lake City. We continue to deal with those hazy, smoky skies and lower air quality. Tomorrow it should be a little bit improved here further up towards the north. Still, though, you can see just how thick those concentrations of that plume is across central and southern Utah, impacting northeastern Utah as well, blowing them across much of the country. But again, should get a little bit better here, not quite as widespread. Temperatures right now this evening, still pretty toasty. 100 in Moab, 102 in St. George, 95 in Page. We continue to deal with critical wildfire conditions down towards the southwestern part of the state, especially elevated further up towards the north. Watch what happens tomorrow. Boom. It's basically widespread here, critical conditions south central, southwestern, central Utah, and up towards the north and east, including portions of the southern end of the Wasatch Front. The reason being is the winds. The winds today, for the most part, have been cooperating further up towards the north and cooperating out towards the east, mainly confined in those areas under the warning, 20 to 30 miles per hour. Watch what happens, though, as we get into the day. Tomorrow, they're going to be kind of widespread across the majority of the state. So tomorrow, we still have to be extra vigilant here with those wind gusts exceeding 30 to 35 miles per hour in some spots, including up further towards the north. The good news is Friday is looking a lot better. Not widespread across the state, lighter up towards the north, still a bit breezy down towards the south, but a little bit better here. So that'll help at least mitigate those wildfire concerns. We've got a few storms up towards the north and east, shower in the Moab area, a few showers here in southwestern Wyoming. That's really about it. We'll be dealing with dry conditions tomorrow, other than a few isolated showers across that northeastern portion of the state. hit or miss, not a big deal. And then back up towards the north and west in Wendover, and that is it. Mainly sunny skies for much of the state tomorrow with dry conditions. So we're into the 60s and 70s for lows tomorrow. We're starting a little bit of a cooling trend into the middle 90s here for highs. St. George, you've got temperatures into the triple digits each and every day. Sunshine up and through the weekend. And then along the Wasatch Front, 97 tomorrow. So today was the hottest day of the week. So that's great news. A little bit cooler tomorrow. We're going to start that cooling trend by a few degrees each and every day.
Can I ask
We're into
for
the low and middle 90s for Sunday.
a personalized forecast here?
For sure.
Well, I'm going to be in central Utah tomorrow. We're going to get out and talk to some folks about the Monroe Canyon fire. We'll see on the television tomorrow night. But that area right now, it's extremely dry, obviously, low relative humidity. You think it may be low 90s in that spot?
Yeah, probably low 90s, but it's going to be the winds that are still going to be an issue out there with some wind gusts 30 to 35 miles per hour. It could be worse than what we've been dealing with today. Tomorrow likely being the windiest.
Goody. So you think it's been smoky in northern Utah. I feel for all our friends in central Utah, Sevier, Paiute, Garfield counties, everywhere around there. I'll be chewing on it with you tomorrow. I know it's really chalky, and join us for our coverage tomorrow night. So thank you for the personalized forecast. I appreciate that. I will prepare accordingly, and I will be glowing with all the sunscreen I put on. Still ahead here on Arc Salt Lake. When it comes to dinner, this man's first choice is Chick-fil-A. Got good taste. Coming up on Arc Salt Lake, how many years straight he's had the chicken and fries for dinner? I didn't expect that. Excluding Sundays, of course. Some four-legged friends cooled off in the water for the 100th annual Chincoteague Pony Swim. This year, the scene was a little different, more security on hand due to a threat made against the event earlier this year.
Oh, okay. Well, thousands came out to watch the adult ponies and their foals swim across the Assateague Channel. Some of the ponies will be auctioned off on Thursday, and they'll be back to swim back in the Assateague Island on Friday.
Nice job. That was good. I didn't know where that was. And that's apparently
in Maryland.
In Maryland.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Let them go.
They look great. 28-year-old Pennsylvania man, we told you about this, celebrating 5 years of eating Chick-fil-A every day except for Sundays because the chicken chain is closed.
My heart couldn't do it.
Dan Limboan says he loves it so much he collects handmade memorabilia and official merch. He even got a tattoo to commemorate